dear students, myself Gangadhar Solanke, and I welcome you all to the MCGM's virtual classroom. My dear students, today in standard 6th history, we'll be learning the topic Janapadas and Mahajanapadas. In the first chapter of history, we people discussed about the Indian subcontinent and history. In the second one, sources of history, then Harappan civilization, the Vedic civilization, and the religious trends in ancient India. Now next to that, today in this topic, points which we have to cover are Janapadas, Mahajanapadas, and the rise of the Magadha Empire. Now here on the screen, as you can see, there is a map which is given in our textbook, is about the 16 Mahajanapadas which are of 6th century BCE. So you can directly circle or by observing the map, study or list the names of all these 16 Mahajanapadas. So the first point, Janapadas, the period from about 1000 BC to 600 BC, it's considered to be the post-Vedic period, which means that the period which is after Vedic period, post-Vedic period, Vedic period के बाद का period. And it is in this period that the Janapadas came into existence. It means that these Janapadas came into existence in between the 1000 BC to 600 BC, and Janapadas were the many small states. Now this is what is the second thing to understand this concept very easily, that what is Janapadas. Janapadas were nothing but the many small states. Nowadays also in our country we have number of states, like Maharashtra is one state, Gujarat, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Jammu and Kashmir, all these are the states in our country. Like that, in ancient period also, number of many small states were there, and the states were known as Janapadas. These Janapadas spread from today's Afghanistan, which is to the northwest of the Indian subcontinent, to Bengal and Odisha in the east, and to Maharashtra in the south. Now in this map, you can easily understand the area from today's Afghanistan to Bengal and Odisha in the east and to Maharashtra in the south. Now here you can see Maharashtra state if we talk in today's relation. Second one, the Janapada called Ashmak occupied a part of today's Maharashtra. अगर हम आज के महाराष्ट्र की बात करेंगे तो जो ये स्मॉल स्टेट्स थे, महाराष्ट्र भी उनमें से एक था. आज जिसे हम महाराष्ट्र के नाम से जानते हैं, उसे इन द एंशियंट पीरियड, in the post Vedic period, it was known as the Ashmak. The Janapada called Ashmak occupied a part of today's Maharashtra. The names of the Janapadas can be found in Sanskrit and in Pali and also in Ardha Magadhi literature. If we people go through the literature of Sanskrit language or of Pali or of Ardha Magadhi of that particular period, then one can find the names of these Janapadas in the Sanskrit, Pali and Ardha Magadhi literature. One can also find information about them in the writings of Greek historians. Now one more thing here to understand is that उस वक्त ये जो हिस्टोरियंस थे या फिर ट्रैवलर्स थे, वो एक जगह से दूसरी जगह घूमते थे, एंड वाइल moving from one place to another place, they used to keep records, and records related with that particular kingdom, records related with that particular king, and also about the different types of systems or about the administration like cultural or political or of economical, and so that one can find information about all these Janapadas in the writings of Greek historians also. और इससे हमें पता चलता है कि उस वक्त ग्रीक के लोग जो थे वो अपने यहाँ तक आते थे और यहाँ से वापस भी वो गए हैं, और वहाँ का जो लिटरेचर है उसमें हमें जनपदास के बारे में इंफॉर्मेशन मिलती है. Some of the Janapadas were monarchies while others were republics. Now here the difference between the monarchies and the republics. If we talk about the monarchy, then it is the form of government in which ruling power is in the hands of one person, and that one person may be king. एक ही राजा होता था और सारी पावर उसके ही हाथ में होती थी. That is called monarchy. And when we talk about the republic, a republic is a form of government in which power is held by the people and representatives they elect, and affairs of state are a public matter rather than privately accommodated. And in modern times, the definition of a republic is also commonly limited to a government which excludes a monarch. So this is what the basic difference between the monarchy and the republic. So उनमें से कुछ जनपदास जो थे वहाँ पर मोनार्की वाली सिस्टम थी और कहीं पर रिपब्लिक थी जहाँ पर लोग का खुद का पॉलिटिकल सिस्टम बनाया हुआ था या फिर उनके रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स वहाँ पर काम करते थे. सो अ रिपब्लिक इज अ फॉर्म ऑफ गवर्नमेंट इन विच पावर इज हेल्ड बाय द पीपल और बाय द रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स ऑफ द पीपल. Then the next thing about the Janapadas. Some Janapadas had a Ganaparishad of senior citizens. Members of the Ganaparishad came together for discussion if there is any issue or to run anything for the people, and made decisions regarding administrative issues. And this is what is all about the Ganaparishad. वहाँ के जो सीनियर सिटीजन्स थे वो इकट्ठा होते थे, एक साथ बैठते थे एंड डिस्कस, एंड बाय डिस्कसिंग मेड डिसीजंस. द प्लेस वेयर द डिस्कशंस टुक प्लेस was known as the संतगढ़. So the Ganaparishad, in Ganaparishad, senior citizens or the people who took decisions play an important role in maintaining the republic system of that particular Janapadas. Gautam Buddha hailed from the Shakya Republic, and every Janapada had its own coinage that you can see here on the screen. Coinage of that particular Janapada. Like today we are having currency. जैसे अपने देश की करेंसी के बारे में अगर हम बात करेंगे इट इज़ इन रुपीज़, और अगर हम बाहर के देशों की बात करेंगे तो अलग अलग करेंसी है, जैसे यूरोज है या फिर डॉलर्स है. लाइक दैट देयर वर आल्सो करेंसी और कॉइनेज ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर जनपदा. सम जनपदास ग्रेजुअली बिकेम स्ट्रॉन्गर and expanded their geographical boundaries, and such Janapadas came to be known as Mahajanapadas. Now it is in the name only and not difficult to understand. जनपदास जो स्मॉल स्टेट्स हुआ करते थे, लेकिन कुछ जनपदास जो है बहुत स्ट्रॉन्गर बन गए और अपना जियोग्राफिकल बाउंड्रीज उन्होंने बढ़ाई. देन इट बिकम महाजनपदास. From the literature of that period, it is clear that up to the 6th century BCE, 16 Mahajanapadas had acquired special importance. In that, Kosal, Vats, Avanti and Magadha became more powerful. Out of that 16 also, 16 जो थे वो बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट थे, बहुत ही बड़े बन गए थे, लेकिन उसमें से भी अगर हम चूज करेंगे तो कोसल, What's, Avanti and Magad, ये जो थे वो उसमें से और पावरफुल थे, and that you can find in the map also. The ancient and modern names of the 16 Mahajanapadas: Kashi, that is Banaras; Kosal, Lucknow; Mall, that is Gorakhpur. These names are in today's. Then the Vatsa, that is Allahabad; Chedi, Kanpur; Kuru, Delhi; Panchal, Rohilkhand; Mach, that is Jaipur; Shurasen, that is Mathura; Ashmak, Aurangabad, Maharashtra; Avanti, Ujjain; Ang, Champa, East Bihar; Magadha, that is South Bihar; Rijji, North Bihar; Gandhara, that is Peshawar; and the Kamboj near Gandhara. All these were the 16 important Mahajanapadas. और ये सिर्फ उनके नाम ही नहीं दिए बल्कि आज वो एग्जैक्टली जगह कहाँ पर है, दैट इज ऑल्सो गिवन इन आवर टेक्स्ट बुक, सो दैट यू कैन फाइंड इट इन द मैप. The Kosala Mahajanapada was located in the foothills of the Himalayas in the region of Uttar Pradesh and Nepal. The famous cities of Kosala were Shravasti, Kushavati and Saket. Shravasti was the capital of Kosala. Gautam Buddha had lived in the famous Vihara Jetwan at Shravasti for a long time. Now here we are talking about the 4 important Mahajanapadas, that is Kosal, Vats, Avanti and Magadha. The Kosala king Prasenjit was a contemporary of the Buddha and Vardhaman Mahavir, and later the state of Kosala merged with Magadha. So the important things which we have to keep in mind about the Kosala, that it is located in the foothills of the Himalayas. Shravasti was the capital, and the king Prasenjit was a contemporary of the Buddha and Vardhaman Mahavir. Next is Vats. The Mahajanapada Vats was located in the region around Prayag, that is Allahabad in Uttar Pradesh. Kosam is the place which is the capital of Vats, was the ancient city of Kaushambi. It was an important center for trade. 3 extremely rich merchants of Kaushambi and built 3 viharas. 3 extremely rich merchants of Kaushambi had built 3 viharas for Gautam Buddha and his followers. King Udayana was a contemporary of Gautam Buddha, and after King Udayana, the state of Vats could not maintain its independent existence for long, क्योंकि उसके बाद का जो किंग है वो उतना कैपेबल नहीं रहा होगा. The king of Avanti, Mahajanapada, conquered the state. Next to the Vats, there is Avanti. The ancient kingdom of Avanti was located in Malwa region of Madhya Pradesh, and Ujjain was its capital. The city was an important trade center. The king of Avanti, Pradyot, was a contemporary of Gautam Buddha and Vardhaman Mahavir. So, by all these sentences, we can understand one thing: the effect or the influence of Gautam Buddha and his teaching was very much on the kings and also on the people of that particular area. During the reign of King Nandivardhan, the state of Avanti was merged into Magad Empire. And the 4th one, Magadha. The ancient Mahajanapada of Magadha was spread through the regions of Gaya, Patna in Bihar and some regions in Bengal. The capital of Magadha was Rajgriha. King Bimbisara's place was built by architect Mahagovind. And very famous name, Jivaka, who was the famous physician, was at the court of Bimbisara. Bimbisara had become a follower of Gautam Buddha. Then next to all these 4 Mahajanapadas, here is the map in which you can see all the 16 Mahajanapadas: Ashmak, Avanti, Chedi, Vats, Mats, Kuru, Panchala, Kosla, Mall, Kasi, Magadha, Vachi, Ang, Gandhara and Kamboja. Rise of the Magadha Empire. Ajatashatru, the son of Bimbisara, continued with the policy of expansion. जो पॉलिसी अजातशत्रु ने स्टार्ट की थी, बिंबिसारा ने स्टार्ट की थी, अजातशत्रु the son of Bimbisara continued with the policy of expansion of the Magadha Empire, and that is why the kingdom of Magadha prospered during the reign of Ajatashatru. He had become a follower of Gautam Buddha, and he successfully conquered many republics of the east. After the Mahaparinirvana of Gautam Buddha, it was during his reign that the first Buddhist Council or Sangiti was held at Rajgriha. Here in the image you can see Ajatashatru sculpture, and he was also known for the first Buddhist Council or Sangiti held at Rajgriha, which is the important one in the Buddhist history. Rise of the Magadha Empire, in that the foundation for the new capital Patligram of Magadha was laid during Ajatashatru's period, and later it became famous as Patliputra. Patliputra was probably in the vicinity of today's Patna city. Here you can see. Then the rise of the Magadha Empire, and that a noteworthy successor of Ajatashatru was the Magadha king Shishu-Nag. He annexed the kingdoms of अवंती, कोसला एंड वत्स टू मगधा. तो इससे हमें पता चल रहा है कि मगध एम्पायर कितना बड़ा होता जा रहा था. सब छोटे छोटे जो स्टेट्स है या फिर महाजनपदास है उनको भी कॉन्कर कर करके यू कैन सी दैट इन दिस हाउ इट इज इंक्रीजिंग its geographical boundaries. Nearly the entire region of northern India came under the control of Magadha. That was how the Magadha Empire took shape. Now the next point, the Nanda kings of Magadha. The Nandas ruled the Magadha Empire between 364 BC and 324 BC. They had set up good administrative system necessary to run the huge empire. It was not that much easy thing to run such a huge empire, but the Nanda kings set up a good administrative system, and because of that it became easy to run the administrative work. They had a huge 4-column army, that is of infantry, cavalry, chariots and elephants. The Nandas also introduced the system of standard weights and measures. Today we are having this system, but it was basically introduced in the rule power of Nanda kings. Here you can see in the map Nanda dynasty. If we talk about them, then the king Dhananand was the last king of the Nanda dynasty, and by this time the Magadha Empire had extended up to the Punjab in the west, here in the map. However, during Dhananand's reign, the ambitious youth Chandragupta Maurya owned Patliputra, ended the Nanda realm and laid the foundation of the Maurya Empire. During Dhananand's reign, the ambitious youth Chandragupta Maurya, and then we have to talk about Chandragupta Maurya in detail. Here you can see Maurya Empire then. So in the next chapter we'll read about the foreign invasions on the western and northwestern frontiers of India during the rise of the Maurya Empire, and also we'll read about the Maurya Empire in the greater detail. But here in Today's topic, we discussed about the Janapadas, 4 important Mahajanapadas, that is Kaushal, Vats, Avanti, Magadha, and in detail about the rise of the Magadha Empire and the Nanda kings of Magadha. Now, by using the information given in our textbook, you can solve or answer the questions which are given in exercise.
Please subscribe the channel and press bell icon to get notifications.
So my dear students, this is all for today. Thank you very much. Stay home, stay safe, take care.